Hello, friends. How are you? And hope you're doing well. This is Ronald Chagulan. Yeah, I'll be taking you through introduction to microeconomics. I'll start by apologizing for what happened last time and the technical issues we had. Very sure it won't happen again. Okay. So, in this lecture today, we are going to look at basically the introduction to microeconomics, how different it is from macroeconomics, and several key concepts in this course unit. We'll look at the economic questions, economic problems, and then we talk about the production possibility frontier and a few other elements. Okay, so economics um, as a term and a discipline is I call it a day-to-day element. Yeah, for whatever we talk about, and economics applies to us in our day-to-day life. Okay, most of the things are practical. Yeah, we'll look at these different aspects and you will see that indeed when you talk about scarcity, it happens in our lives. When you talk about choice, it happens in our lives. When you talk about opportunity cost, it happens in our lives. Okay. So we start by defining economics, and we're saying economics explain how scarce resources are allocated amongst competing ends. So in this, we are saying resources like workers, machinery, etc. are scarce. Yeah, in the way that at any one point they're only available in limited quantities, and there are many alternative uses that these resources can be put to. Yeah, the ones we are calling the competing needs. So in simple terms, with the economics, we're going to see how how man can use the scarce resources, the little resources we have, to satisfy our endless needs. The needs we have are too many, okay, but the resources we have are scarce to satisfy the given need. So we will see how can we deal with such a scenario. Okay, you have a lot of things to meet, but you have limited resources to enable you meet what you need. Okay, yeah, so we are saying that these resources, at times you have them, and even when you have them, they may not be as much as you would wish to have. So we are going to see with economics, we see how do you play around the scarce resources you have, yeah, to satisfy your endless needs. Okay. Um, um, okay. Macroeconomics studies the behavior of specific economic units that make up the economic aggregates. Under this branch of economics, we look at individual, households, and firms' behavior um, towards resource allocation. Okay, that's macroeconomics. Um, um, the topics will cover all the topics which are covered under macroeconomics include demand, supply, household behavior, and consumer choice, the cost structure of firms, market structures, market failure and externalities, economic regulations, and many others. Okay, and this course relies heavily on graphical analysis and simple numerical calculations. Don't be scared. We'll be having some simple calculations. Yeah, so they're just elementary calculations. Yeah, simple ones, and a few graphs for illustration. So if you see graphs and numbers, don't be scared. Yeah, yeah, to clearly bring out those economic concepts, at times we apply or will be applying graphs and numbers. Yeah, So microeconomics is different from macroeconomics in the way that microeconomics looks at individuals, farms, households, whereas macroeconomics now looks at the entire economy. It's an aggregate. It's put together everything in an economy. Okay. So as we'll be looking at individual behaviors in microeconomics, macroeconomics looks at the entire economy. Yeah, that's the key difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Yeah, one is small, the other one is big in simple terms. Okay, so let's look at the fundamental economic problems. Yeah, we have three fundamental economic problems, which are scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. So in this lecture, I'll try to show us how these three connect, yeah, and their importance to an economist. Yeah, why you need to know about these three economic problems: scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. Earlier we said we have scarce resources. We said individuals have scarce resources but with endless needs. So our wants exceed or are greater than the resources we have, and because of that we have scarcity. We have more wants than the resources. Yeah, you're there, you need fees, you need money for hair, you need money to take someone out, or you need money to take yourself out, you need to buy new shoes, you need to buy a car, you need to buy land, you need to buy a number of things, but in your wallet you have only 200,000. Okay, so in such a scenario you'll find that your wants exceed the resources you have. Okay, let's put it on a simple scale. Yeah, you have your pocket money, probably you're a man or a gentleman, and we know our pocket money is always a bit relatively smaller. They've given you 20,000 or 50,000 to take you through the entire semester. Yeah, dad has said you go. Yeah, good enough, I've paid the fees, you go and survive. You have 50,000. Okay, and here comes a number of things you want. Yeah, if I list them, they might be endless. Yeah, but you find you need to buy a new pair of shoes, trouser, someone is asking for airtime, you need to take someone out to Cafe Pola, you know. So because of that, you find that you're in a situation of scarcity, for your wants are exceeding your resources. So what comes next? So in situations where your resources are not enough, or they are less than the ones you have, yeah, you're faced by a problem of scarcity. Yeah, and when scarcity comes in, then you're forced to make a choice. Are we together? Yeah, you're forced to make a choice. Yeah, you are presented with wants, but the resources are not enough, so you have to make a choice to see what best can you have at a certain point in time. Okay, you need to buy handouts, you need to buy a pair of shoes, you need to take someone out, and you need to buy airtime to communicate to people at home, but you're having only 50,000. So at that point you sit down and you're like, what do I need best? Okay, so you make a choice. You say, let me first buy nuts, let me first buy food, let me first do this. Yeah, there you're making a choice altogether. So whenever you make a choice, there's something you're foregoing. Yeah, so the value of the second best alternative foregone is what we call opportunity cost. Whenever you make a choice, it means there's something you've left, there's something you've not selected. So the value of the second best alternative foregone is what we call opportunity cost. I have three options. I have to buy a new trouser, I have to pay medical bills, and I have to I have to take my car for service altogether, and I'm having only 100,000. Yeah. So based on the bills, you may find that I can't clear all. I can't clear everything using the 100,000 I have. So I have to sit down and I say, what do I need most? So I say trousers first weight. Let me first do this. Okay. So the value, what I've done is I've made a choice because of scarcity. But the value of the second best alternative foregone, yeah, is what we call opportunity cost. So if you find that in second line, probably I've decided to first clear the bills, yeah, and the second line I've maybe foregone servicing the car, yeah. Okay, so that's what we call opportunity cost. So those are our three fundamental economic key problems: scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. And these three are connected. Like as you can see on that graph. Yeah, like I can see here we are. Let me just try to point out something. You can see our wants are greater than the resources, and so we are having an element of scarcity altogether. Because of this scarcity, we make a choice. Okay, when we make a choice, it means we've foregone something, and the value of that what we've foregone is our opportunity cost altogether. That's the connection of those three aspects, or the three economic key problems. Okay, let us. Then we have the fundamental economic key questions. The fundamental economic key questions. Okay, these questions are: what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, when to produce, and where to produce. Okay, we've earlier talked about the three problems of scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. Okay, so the problem of choice connects a lot with these fundamental economic questions. Yeah, if you see these five, they have an element of choice. You have to decide on what to produce, you have to decide on how to produce, you have to decide on for whom to produce, when to produce, and where to produce altogether. Yeah, and we are making a choice because our resources are not enough. Let's not forget that. Yeah, let's not forget that the resources are not enough, and so you make a choice. Yeah, and then with that choice we are making, these questions always come in. Yeah, what to produce? You can't produce everything. If you may not have enough resources to produce everything. Yeah, so in a business, it's always good to first ask yourself that question: what should I produce? Yeah, recall you can't produce everything. You're limited. Yeah, so you can't produce everything. So I have to say, maybe what to produce. Let me produce cakes. Okay, and then the other question will be how to produce. How are you going to produce the cakes? What means are you going to use to produce the cakes? Okay, what level of technology are you going to use to produce the cakes altogether? Yeah, how to produce. And then we have for whom to produce. Here we talk about the customers. Who is going to buy my cakes altogether? These questions should always come in at the thinking stage. Maybe when you think about your business, who is going to buy what you're going to produce? Yeah, In simple terms, you're thinking about the person for whom you're producing. Yeah, if they're cakes, am I producing for only those who are going for weddings, or I'm targeting even those who are having birthdays? And there are some who eat cakes for fun altogether. Yeah. So this question even always comes in when it comes to the um, when it comes to the biographical breakdown of our customers. Yeah, we're talking about age. Yeah, am I producing for kids, for the youth, or for the elderly? Gender. Yeah, will I produce for male or female? Actually, I love those people with boutiques. Yeah, they always answer well that question. Yeah, in most cases, you find a person and the person has specialized. Yeah, and they always put it. They always write on top of their kiosks. I'm dealing in men's clothes. I'm dealing in ladies' clothes. I'm dealing in children's clothes. Of course, there are some who will deal in everything. They will still indicate it. I have everything. So it's important to ask yourself that question. Yeah, because you can't produce for everyone and you be efficient. Okay, and then the other question is when to produce. When to produce? That's another question which comes. When should I produce? Should I produce today or tomorrow? Should I produce when the prices are high or when the prices are low? Okay. Should I produce at the start of a season or at the end of the season? That's the question of when to produce. So as economists, in most cases, we'll be looking at how the economy is running, how the prices are behaving in the market. Okay, and then we make decisions. Should I produce when the prices are high or low? We will see that under supply, whether it's good to supply when the prices are high or when the prices are low. We'll look at that under supply. And then the other question is where to produce. You should also ask yourself that question. Where are you going to produce from? Are you going to produce near the raw materials or near the market? Yeah. Okay. You may find that what you're producing is fragile. There's a better term we can use. Okay. There's a better term we can use, but you can find that what you're producing can't stay for so long, and maybe you tell yourself, let me produce near my customers. Yeah, you're trying to answer that question of where to produce. You say, me, I produce near my customers. Or you find that it will be hard for you to be moving the raw materials, so you decide to produce near the raw materials. Okay, think. Okay, let's move on. Now let's go to the production possibility curve, or the PPF. The production possibility curve. Yeah, so the PPF shows the production, we call it, it has several names: the production possibility frontier, the production possibility curve. Okay, so this shows the maximum amount of two products that can be produced when a country's resources are fully and efficiently utilized. So if all resources are fully and efficiently utilized, what is the maximum combination of two products that can be produced together? We'll try to link this PPF or PPC to our economic problems of scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost, and you see how they apply to this concept. We are saying that curve shows the maximum amount of two products that can be produced when the country's resources are fully and efficiently utilized. Yeah, this is how it looks like. Yeah, this is our ppf. So here we assume the country oil we are producing pancakes and this animal here, pira, yeah, or pizza. Okay, we are producing pancakes and pizza. So this curve shows the maximum combination of these two products when all resources are fully and efficiently utilized. For instance, y1 y1 shows that if all resources are fully and efficiently utilized, our combination will be 100 of pancakes, 1,000 of pancakes and 1,000 of pizza. Okay, if all resources are efficiently and fully utilized, our combination will be 1,000 of pancakes and 1,000 of pizza altogether. Yeah. So y2 would be if all resources are efficiently and effectively utilized, our combination will be 500 of pancakes and I guess this could be around 1,500 of pizza. Yeah, when you put all the resources to full use and efficiently utilized. So this curve teaches us a lot about the element of scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. How? Yeah, there are some points we should note. There's a point Z and a point X. Okay, and we will see the slope. This curve is negatively sloped. Yeah, so we'll try to understand these movements. In assuming we are initially at point y1 and we move towards point y3, what does it imply? Yeah, what does it imply? Okay, you will see that if we move from y1 to y3, yeah, we're initially having 1,000 of pira and 1,000 of pancakes. Okay, when we move a bit higher, yeah, you find that we are increasing on the pancakes and we are reducing on the pira. Yeah, yeah. So what does that show? What does it mean? Yeah, what causes that? Yeah, we'll try to understand. Okay, here if I move from y1 to y2, yeah, we can see that initially we had 1,000 of pancakes and 1,000 of pira. So if we move to y2, pira is increasing and pancakes are reducing. Yeah, so we ask ourselves, what is that? Okay, so the answer is very, very simple. Yeah, we can see the answer is very, very simple, and this is answered by the aspect of opportunity cost altogether. We've said our resources are scarce. We can't have everything we need. We are limited altogether. Yeah, we are limited. So we have to make a choice on what to have more and what to have less. Yeah, and we said whenever you make a choice, there's something you have to forego. Yeah, so we are seeing here, if I increase on my pancakes, I have to reduce on the pira, meaning I have to forego some units of pira to increase on pancakes altogether. That is opportunity cost altogether. Here when we move from y1 to y2, we are increasing on pira. Yeah, so if you're to increase on the amount of pira you're producing, it means you have to reduce on the amount of pancakes you're producing. For you can't produce both in bigger quantities, or you can't increase the production of both at the same time. The resources won't allow. So you have to forego some resources, or you have to move some resources from the production of pancakes to the production of pillar, meaning the amount of pancakes will reduce as the amounts of pancakes of pillar are increasing. Okay, so the other elements we can talk about is x and z. Yeah, x is within the curve. Yeah, so x means we are underutilizing our resources. I mean, there are some resources which are not being put to full use. Recall we said if we fully utilize all our resources, we will produce along the PPF altogether. So if we produce below the PPF, it means we are underutilizing resources. We are not fully utilizing our resources. Okay, and then we have point Z. Point Z. Yeah, point Z is an interesting, appetizing, enticing, yeah, point. Yeah, anyone would wish to produce at that point, but we are limited. Our resources are scarce. Our resources can't allow us to produce up to point Z. So however beautiful, however interesting, however enticing point Z is, we can't produce at that point because our resources are scarce altogether. They can't enable us, they can't allow us to produce up to point Z, keeping other factors constant. We will see there are some situations under which we can produce up to point Z. We'll look at that in the future. Yeah, we'll look at them in the future. But if we keep to the assumptions of the PPF, if we keep all the other factors constant, then we can't reach point Z. Yeah, but we will see what we can do to reach point Z. So this is our production possibility frontier or production possibility curve. We said on this curve we have the maximum combination of two commodities, in this case pancakes and pira. The economy can produce, or the country can produce, when all its resources are fully and efficiently utilized. And we say the point x, which is inside, means underutilization of resources, and point z is unattainable, keeping other factors constant. With the available resources, we can't attain point z. And we said the movement alongside the PPF indicates opportunity cost. Like if we move from point Y to point Y3, we are foregoing some units of pira to increase on the units of pancakes. And when we move from point Y1 to Y2, we are foregoing some units of pancakes to produce more units of pira, which is opportunity cost. You have to forego something to have something. Yeah, if I want to have more of something, I have to reduce on the other something, because the resources can't allow, or resources are scarce and resources are not enough. Okay, this tries to explain the graph. This tries to explain the okay, say if production is reduced in order to make more pancakes, the potential cost consists of the benefits that would have been received from pizzas that have not been made. Recall we said if you increase on pancakes, there's some amount of pizza you won't make. For resources, for you have to move some resources from pizza production to pancakes production. So the slope of the PPC or the PPF, please don't be confused by these two. PPC and PPF, they mean the same. So you're saying the slope of the PPC is referred to as the marginal rate of product transformation, MRPT. Yeah, marginal rate of product transformation. Marginal rate of product transformation. Marginal rate of product transformation. Yeah, which is the change in y over change in x. In the example at hand, it shows how much of pyrite how much officers should be given up in order to produce an additional unit of pancakes. Yeah, so in the future I will ask you to give me the difference between the marginal rate of the marginal rate of transformation, and then the marginal rate of substitution. Yeah, the marginal rate of substitution. We'll look at it in the future. Yeah, so I'll remind you, or ask you to remind us, or to tell us the difference between the marginal rate of product transformation and then marginal rate of substitution. Okay. Yeah, so I have a few questions for you. Yeah, which you present, or which you present in our chat room when you go back to the classroom, or when you go back to our model. Yeah, I want you to write short notes on the different shapes of the PPC. Yeah, the PPC or PPF is not always like the one I've presented. There are some shapes. Okay, so I want you to identify the different shapes and what they mean. Yeah, why would we have a concave? Why would, or under what conditions will we have a concave, a convex, or our other shape? Okay, and then I need you to tell us what explain the inward and outward shifts in the PPF. Yeah, what leads the inward shift, and then what can lead the outward shift. Okay, the other thing we can think of, or the other thing you can research about is what can be done to achieve point Z. Yeah, we earlier looked at point Z and we said that point can't be attained, keeping other factors constant. Yeah, so that means there are some situations, or there are some conditions which can be satisfied for us to reach up to point Z. So what are those? Or under what conditions can we produce up to point Z? Alright, so thank you very much for listening. Please take off some time and look at the task, and please, after you post in our chat room. Thank you.